Hello and welcome back to SpriteGuard Plays Roguelite. We're going to head right back into the dungeon and see if we can replicate a little bit of yesterday's success, or last week's I mean, but maybe play a little bit better on the boss. So we're going to be playing a little bit more loosely with our arrows and our health, trying to rely more on pickups and move through levels more quickly. We'll be basically trying to head straight for the exit whenever we can, and keeping an arrow out so that we know more or less where we're going and we can kind of see ahead, and then trying to, as much as possible, read the structures and see if we can guess where the exit's going to be. That's going to be the most difficult part of this. And I don't know how well I'm going to try. I'm not going to feel too bad about it. Oh dear. I do want to get that arrow before we drop into level 2. We're, more or less going to be speedrunning. But I don't want to take as many risks as a true speedrun would involve. I want to still try and play sanely. Just try and find my way to the exit as quickly as possible. Pick up the arrows that we need, keep an arrow out, all that stuff. Just really trying to get to the boss as fast as we can, and to practice, most importantly, to practice the skills that we're going to need on the boss. Now, I find the platforming level significantly easier than the platforming on the boss. And so, there's going to be a limited amount that we can take from this. But, being able to navigate in the darkness, being able to rely on pickups, keeping an arrow out, stuff like that is really important. And I really want to make sure that we are able to do that. Able to read the screen quickly and not take too many hits like that, but also to be able to recover from those hits. And so I'm going to go on a little bit of an expedition looking for, replenishing the supplies that we have run out of. See if we can find some hearts. But if I don't find them real quickly, I kind of want to keep moving on. I do want to kind of scan around this upper area. There's often hearts up in the rafters like this. Doesn't look like we're running into very much useful though, so I'm going to head... Oh, geez. Okay. So that ended up being a negative overall. So that's not great, but I think level 4 is very likely to have what we need. And so we're just going to try and find our way back to the exit that we saw. I believe it was over this way. Looks like this is it right here. And we're on to level 4. Now there's plenty of arrows here for us. And there's our first heart, and wasted it right away. Because we are moving a little bit too fast. We're moving fast enough that we can't always see what's directly ahead of us, and I'm making a lot of mistakes because of that. And so now we're getting into a situation, okay, now I'm just platforming badly. And I don't actually think I can make that jump, so I'm going to see if there's a different way to do it. We're doing fine for arrows, but we're not seeing the kinds of hearts that we need. And so that's really concerning, especially because I've been platforming pretty badly. And so, this is practice. And practice, I always kind of feel like if I don't do badly when I practice, that the practice wasn't really accomplishing much. Because when I'm practicing something, I'm really looking for... what are the mistakes I'm making? What are the problems I'm having? That was not good. So we are really low on health now. But I think we're getting good practice. We're really exposing, okay, what are the problems? What do we need to do differently? There's some health for us. So now we're doing actually a lot better for that. And it looks like we have not been down this way. It's looking like it might be a dead end. So there's the hearts for us, and there's quite a few lamps and quite a few arrows for us, so we can replenish our light source, get 2 lanterns at once, and head back this way. So I'm not... Oh, dear. So I'm not really sure where to go from here. It seems like we need to get kind of over this wall, is probably the most likely. It's also possible that there's something over to the right here. Someplace we haven't been. Let's see. What do we have over here? It looks like we have... yeah, it looks like we may not have been here. Well, okay, so there's actually a pile of clothing, so we have been here. Might not have been this way, though. And, yep, there we go. There's our exit. Oh, no? Yeah, there we go. And looks like we've hit a little in-between area. Lots of arrows for us here. And so we can take an opportunity to replenish our light source. And we're on to the next level. So, you know, there's a balance that we need to strike that I think is going to be very difficult for us to strike. And that is kind of between, you know, moving quickly, staying on the move, and, you know, moving carefully and making sure that we can see where we're going before we go there. I do think when we get onto these larger levels that lighting lanterns to show us where we've been is going to be more important. And that magic arrow is really helping us out. You know, piles of clothing do just as good as lanterns, so we don't actually need to light that lantern. I did not see there were spikes there. Now, I believe there were some hearts back this way, but I don't really remember where they were. And so, you know, I don't know if we can find our way back to them. I know there were lots of arrows the direction we were going. There's a heart. That, you know, that has a... Oh, there's another one. So there we go. Back at full health. You know, we're going to be practicing our aim as well, being able to hit monsters accurately and quickly. I think that's something that I need to work on, something that I have been struggling with. There's even another heart for us, though we don't need it right now. I believe up and to the left here is the most promising avenue for us. And I think, yep, this looks like the way to level 6. So we're going to restock our arrows and drop on down, and then there we go, level 6. Last level before the boss. Hopefully we can end this level up on health. You know, that's something that's going to be a little bit up to RNG, but it would be really nice if we could do that. And so I do want to play a little bit more carefully. There's the hearts that we need. Let's leave ourselves some piles of clothing here. There we go. So, where's the exit? It's looking more and more like it's probably not this way. Though this is, I mean, this is taking us so high that I'm a little bit encouraged. And actually now, you know, now we're getting high enough up that I'm thinking, you know, this is, actually, there we go, there's level 7. So we are somewhat low on arrows at this point. And so I want to be mindful of that. You know, there are lots of arrow pickups on this level. And so hopefully we will run into those in the course of things. But I do want to be, you know, mindful and aware that we need to save our arrows primarily for the giant lanterns. And we're just going to be making our way around here. There's another one right there. There is a third. We managed to make it over the boss, which is, you know, that's really challenging, really dangerous, extremely risky. The boss does so much damage. And so now we just need to find the last giant lantern. And I do not know where that is. You know, I don't really know. Where have we been? Where have we not been? We're just going to be a little bit blind here. And we're going to have to navigate quickly and carefully. But down here, okay, so that guy does so much damage. We're now in... Oh, and there we go. So we made it quite close. That was a good run. And I think we did get the kind of practice that we need. I think that we're we're in a better position than we were before. Practice takes a lot of time. We're not going to see results overnight, but I think that we had a good session. We got more practice in the things that we need practice in. We moved quickly. We made pretty good progress on the boss, and we got to see a little bit more of, the boss room layout, and, got a little bit more experience navigating the boss level. So I think that this was a good session. I'm going to continue, every time I do a run, I'm going to kind of be much more critical about, is this worth publishing? Did we make progress? Did we do something? Did we accomplish something? Was the commentary good enough? I'm going to be a little bit harsher so that we're not just doing, episode after episode of nothing happening. So, this has been the end of honesty. This has been the beginning of, pruning things down and trying to keep things faster. I'm not to the point where I'm going to say, I'm going to keep trying until we get a boss run, especially since these runs take like 10 minutes or more to do. I'm probably not going to have time to grind that out. So for the near future, at least, we should be doing more boss attempts. We're getting so close to wrapping this up, though. I'm really looking forward to, to the victory that is being held out before us, and also to being able to bring some new stuff onto this channel. As much as I love this game, I love it, and I want to keep playing it, and also there's so much else that I want to do. And so, until next time, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.